Hello students, welcome to this video on Introduction to Financial Management. The topics covered in this video are finance and finance function, approaches to finance, aims of finance function, the three financial management decisions, and objectives of financial management. So let's begin. What do we understand by finance? Finance is primary requirement of every business. No business can start without finance, nor can it run without finance. Finance is not just needed in the beginning of the business, but also during the due course of business. Health of business depends upon efficient handling of the finance function. That is, if finance is managed well, every commitment of the organization would be met timely and the funds can be channelized efficiently. Finance broadly deals with mobilization of funds, that is, bringing of funds from different sources and using the funds in efficient manner. Thus, finance is truly said to be the lifeblood of any organization. There are various functions of an organization like production, marketing, finance, HRM, etc. Finance is a core function as all the other functions in some way or the other depend upon finance. Funds are raised from a few sources, but this can be done only when all the related implications, that is costing and prerequisites, are well understood. For example, debentures are cheaper source of finance but require a fixed payment. The funds received would be utilized for various business needs, and their improper utilization may lead to various problems. Inflow and outflow of funds should be such that it generates profit. Here, when we find procurement of funds and utilization of funds as major parts of the finance function. Procurement means getting of funds, and utilization means usage of funds into various assets. There are long-term funds and own funds. There are loan funds and own funds which are used in long-term. Similarly, how much money is to be put in current assets or what are the current liabilities, this also has to be managed by the finance function. This is known as working capital management. The amount to be fixed in fixed or long-term assets is part of the investing decisions. Now coming to the approaches of finance function. There are two approaches in which the finance function can be easily categorized: the traditional approach and the modern approach. Traditional approach to the finance function relates to the initial stages of its evolution, that is, during 1920s and 30s. The term corporate finance was used at that time for financial management. According to this approach, the scope of finance function was confined to only procurement of funds needed by the business. The modern approach, however, has a wider sense. It includes raising of funds and their effective utilization under the purview of finance. The cost of raising funds should be compared with the returns. This approach covers financial planning, raising of funds, allocation of funds, and financial controls, etc. Now, what are the aims of the finance function? The first aim is acquiring sufficient funds. Finance function is required to assess the financial needs of an enterprise and then finding a suitable source of raising them. Proper utilization of funds is the second aim. It entails effective utilization of funds, which is even more important than raising them. Returns from these funds should be more than their costs and no fund should be remaining idle. Increasing profitability, the third aim. For increasing profitability, sufficient funds should be invested with proper controls exercised to ensure this. The fourth aim is maximize firm's value. Along with profits, the type of sources used for raising funds, cost of funds, condition of money market, demand of products, etc., are other considerations which influence a firm's value. So, we would agree that financial management is very important element in any organization. Finance is needed right from the inception of the business to every small or big decision of the business, and thus its importance cannot be overemphasized, and so is also true for the subject of financial management. Modern day financial decisions are categorized into three decisions. These are investment decisions, financing decisions, and dividend decisions. Professor Ezra Solomon has defined the scope of financial management as follows. What is the total requirement of funds? What specific assets are to be acquired? What should be the pattern of financing the assets? So, now coming to the first of the three decisions, that is investment decisions. Investment refers to commitment of funds to various assets. These could be financial assets like shares, debentures, or fixed assets, like land, building, plant and machinery, or current assets like inventory, book debts, etc. Thus, investing decisions can be classified in three types: securities in portfolio investing, that is financial assets; capital expenditure decisions, that is investing in fixed assets; and working capital management, that is planning for current assets and their financing. Investment decisions involve selecting of the best investment proposals and commitments of funds to maximize firms' earnings and thereby value. The next financial management decision is financing decision. This relates to procurement of funds. It involves the following decisions. Capitalization decisions. The finance manager is to estimate fund requirements for fixed assets and working capital purposes, and also identify the different sources available to raise such funds. Second, cost of capital. While identifying the different sources, individual costs of these funds and the overall costs of capital of the financing mix need to be estimated to come to the best financing mix. Third, capital structures planning. This refers to debt equity mix in the total capital employed. The degree or level of gearing should be decided based upon the advantages and disadvantages of debt component. The third type of financial decisions, the dividend decisions. This decision pertains to distribution of earning among shareholders. It is known that the profit remaining after payment of interest to the debt instruments and taxes is available for distribution among shareholders as a reward for their risk-taking and an incentive of their investment. But the business needs to decide how much of this amount is to be distributed as dividend, or is it to be kept in the business as retained earnings. Factors like availability of profitable investment proposals, tax position of shareholders, trend of earnings, etc., influence the dividend policy of the firm. So, now we can say that there are three objectives of the financial management. These are profit maximization. A business firm is a profit-seeking economic institution. Thus, profit maximization is a rational and appropriate financial objective because it maximizes the utility value to owners, enables economic natural selection, maximizes socio-economic welfare, and acts as an incentive to face competition. The second objective is wealth maximization, which means increasing the net present value or value of stream of net benefits. Any financial decision which has the positive net worth as a result can be taken up. Third, market value maximization. Wealth maximization objective is consistent with the objective of maximizing owners' economic welfare, and in turn maximizes the utility of their consumption over time. This also enables owners to adjust the flow of funds in a way to optimize their consumption. Owner's wealth is reflected by market value of the company's share. So, it is implied that Financial objective of the firm should be to maximize market value of its shareholders and reflects the quality of financial decisions of the firm. With this, we come to an end of this video. We will discuss financial management in depth in the further videos. Thank you.